All right, shalom, shalom. All right, this is your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, coming with another lesson through the Spirit. All right, Lord willing, this be edifying to the Lord's elect. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all our praise, honor, and glory unto our power Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, V'chak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's to come. Shalom to the Akawath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith, remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. All right, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth, to you Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations. But your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. I want to say peace and blessings to you all, Barakatham. All right, so pretty much I wanted to do a lesson, all right, responding to this video here. And it's a video that I seen on Instagram. And it definitely sparked it sparked the spirit, you know what I'm saying? But I did sit on this video for some time, for a couple days now. So I wanted to, get into this lesson when I had some actual time to sit down, you know what I'm saying? And pretty much dive into this subject, all right? Which of course is dealing with Esau, Edom, right? So, and it's a very interesting thing, man, when you see these jakes out here who's trying to defend these Edomites, you know what I'm saying, and they have no concept or comprehension of what is written for them, why it's written for them, you see what I'm saying, when they're showing you every single day as to why the judgment for them is going to be so severe. You understand? So let me see if I want to get this started with a precept. All right. Let's go to Obadiah. All right. All right. So this is the book of Obadiah. Let's hit verse 6. And it reads, "How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?" You see what I'm saying? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? You see what I'm saying? The thing about these Edomites is that they thrive in secrecy. You see what I'm saying? They thrive in secrecy. The only reason why they're showing themselves out now is because they think that they're winning. They think that they're going to win this struggle. All right. And so I'm going to get this going with this video. All right. Before I share this video, I want to declare fair use. All right. Excuse me. Fair use. Under the Copyright Act of 1976. This is for educational purposes only.
Okay, can somebody please explain to me what the end game is here? With these ridiculously greedy majority white men. What's the end game? To destroy the planet, live in their bunkers underground with artificial sun, artificial food, artificial intelligence, like that's their vision of the future. You're telling me they watched Star Wars and Superman and decided that they wanted to be Darth Vader and Lex Luthor? Like, what is the end game? They just want to scorch the earth and all of us to die and just live miserably underground? I'm so confused. Why are we shooting rockets at the fucking moon? Why are we, using up all of our precious resources? What's the end game?
All right, and I think I'll name this lesson, "What's the end game?" All right, what is the end game? And that's a very good question. All right, when you look around you, okay, on a day-to-day basis, all right, where nobody's able to nobody's able to live, nobody's able to pay bills, nobody's able to afford, afford just the basic necessities. You see what I'm saying? Meanwhile, you have all this wealth that's being concentrated consistently amongst the ruling class, concentrated towards the top 1%. You see what I'm saying? People are now, literally right now, people are starting to look at Trump, all right, with a side eye, because they're like, wait a minute now. We've been losing everything in this deal, and you and your family have been gaining all this money. You see what I'm saying? And then you look at the people who are in control of this thing. You see what I'm saying? They want to tell you that the richest man on the planet is Elon Musk being a trillionaire, when that couldn't be any further from the truth. You have entire families that are worth 50 times what Elon Musk is worth. And they've been this way since 2008. You see what I'm saying? Since 2008, these elite families, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, Warburgs, the Gettys, the DuPonts, the Ashtons, you see what I'm saying? The Schuker Groomers, all of these elite families, man, they have been able to amass wealth at a scale that's equated to 700 planets worth. All right, 700 planets worth of wealth. They have that amount. So the question is, at that level, all right, when you're making that much money, all right, like if you can imagine hundreds of millions of dollars per second, the question then is, what really is money? You see what I'm saying? What would really drive these people? Okay? What drives these people? What is this really about? All right, like she asked, what is the end game? Okay, what's the end game? Well, to answer that question, you have to go to the source. You have to go back to the beginning. Okay, what is this truly about? And only the prophets can bring about this answer. So let's go to the very beginning. Okay? Because what you're seeing here is a feud between two sons. Two sons, all right, whose lineage or whose lineage is fighting to this very day, warring with each other to this very day. All right. So this is Genesis chapter 25, and let's go to verse 21. All right. It says, "And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her. All right. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger." Verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. All right. So let's get a quick illustration of who these two sons are. Bear with me. These are those two sons, Jacob and Esau. Verse 27, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob sowed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom, which means red. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? Right? And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he sware unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up, and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. All right. The elder shall serve the younger. So when you think about all these things that's going on in the world today, with all the famine, all right, with all these high energy weapons, all the wars, all right, all the destabilization throughout the planet. You see what I'm saying? Most people have a hard time grasping the fact that all of this chaos, all of this turmoil, all of this pain and suffering is due to a feud between two sons, Jacob and Esau. And what we're seeing right now is the enactment of two birthrights, all right, or two blessings, if you will. Two blessings that's being executed, okay, and a fight over the birthright. So let's go to the book of, let's go to chapter 27. All right, Genesis chapter 27. And let's go to, all right, let's jump down. Let's go to verse 9. It says, go now to the flock and fetch from me thence 2 good kids of the goats. All right. You're going to have to read this chapter on your own. It's a very good chapter, and it's very necessary that you read this chapter in order to get the understanding and the context of what's going on here. All right. I just read to you that Esau, the elder brother, had sold his birthright to Jacob, the younger brother, because Esau was impatient and he wanted to get something to eat, all right, immediately. So he despised his birthright for instant gratification. Okay? It's very important that you know the dynamics of this. Okay? One son is impatient. The other son knows how to be patient. One son needs instant gratification. The other son is able to have delayed gratification through endurance. Okay? And that's why Yahushua told Rebekah that one son shall be stronger than the other son. Okay? And strength is not always measured in brute force. You see what I'm saying? Strength is also measured in wisdom. And wisdom is rooted in the spirit. And this same dynamic plays out today when you see, all right, AI drones and AI robots. You see what I'm saying? Weaponry that's able to decimate and destroy and decapitate and destabilize, versus the spiritual, which is yet to be seen in this current time. Yet all throughout the scriptures we have seen it. We have seen, all right, different examples of this spiritual power, this spiritual strength, and that is was far stronger than the physical. As Elder Apostle Gabar says all the time, he says that the spiritual, the things that you can't see, are far greater than the things that you can see. You see what I'm saying? So let's go back. Let's go to Genesis chapter 27. All right, verse 9. It says, "Go now to the flock and fetch from me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death." And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, "Behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing." And his mother said unto him, "Upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice and go fetch me them." And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother. And his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved. And Rebekah took goodly raiment for her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands, and upon the smooth of his neck. Okay, so in actual fact, she was making Jacob to be disguised as a hairy man. Because when you see these Edomites today, I'll just say this: keep a Gillette razor away from them for 2 months, and see how it works out. You see what I'm saying? You would see a lot of hairy Edomites. You would see a lot of hairy individuals walking around if there was no Gillette. So let's go to verse 38. Right? Well, it's Slocky. Let's go to verse 31. All right? Verse 30, it says, "And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob." Oh, Slocky. Let's jump up a little bit. Verse 26. Genesis chapter 27, verse 26. "And his father Isaac said unto him, Come near now and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his raiment and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord hath blessed. Therefore may our power give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be him that blesseth thee. Slakin, and blessed be him that blesseth thee. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end to blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out of the presence of Isaac, his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he said, excuse me, and he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, Let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison, and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, Slakia. And he said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, Thy brother came in subtly, and had taken away thy blessing. And he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto him, Behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Because you have to remember that Esau was Isaac's most favored son. He loved Esau. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And all of the anger, all of the fury, all of the disdain, all the jealousy, everything that he harnessed at that very moment, all right, for his brother Jacob, all of that anger and hatred that he stored in to his heart and his spirit, at that point in time, it trickled down to his descendants. And that same feud between these 2 sons have never left. To this very day, it's still playing out. In these last days, we can still see it. All right? We're still seeing it. Because the scriptures say that these 2 sons would be fighting even to the very end of this world. Let's go to 2 Esdras chapter 6. 2 Esdras chapter 6 and verse 7. Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. All right. And it's very symbolic when Jacob, the youngest son, upon their birth, he held Esau's heel. And what that means is that Jacob would be clutched right upon him, okay, and ready to take him down. Okay? Remember, this feuding and this fighting started since the womb. Right? It said that the two boys struggled within the womb of Rebekah, so they were already fighting before they were born. You see what I'm saying? Verse 9, it says, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." So what we're looking at here is the conclusion of this feud between these two sons, all right, that has been carried on through their descendants. All right, these Edomites are known today as so-called white people, okay, by and large. And likewise, the descendants of Jacob are primarily known today as so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians. Okay? And this same feud is still flaring. It's still hot and heavy. Okay? So when you see all of this chaos, all right, and unstable, unstable living conditions and all these things that Esau has brought upon this world, what is the end goal? Okay, the end goal of Esau, Edom, is to try to formulate his own birthright. He wants the birthright back. And what he is trying to do is bring about a pseudo blessing to where he can keep control of the earth. All right? Because what Isaac had blessed both of these sons with, he blessed them both with dominion over the planet. The problem that Esau is having is that his blessing is only temporary, while ours is eternal. And this is why it says, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." So right now, the world is experiencing world dominion under Esau, Edom. You see what I'm saying? And this is why you have what's written in the book of Romans. Let's go here. All right, this is Romans chapter 8 and verse 18. Verse 19, it says, "For the earnest expectation," all right, "for the earnest expectation of the creature," Salaki. Let's go to verse 18. All right. Romans chapter 8 and verse 18, "For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared to the glory which shall be revealed in us, the Israelites." You see what I'm saying? The sufferings of this present time under the rulership of Esau, Edom, is nothing. It's nowhere near in comparison to what it's going to be like under our rulership. You see what I'm saying? Of the glory that shall be revealed in us. Verse 19, "For the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of power." And who are the sons of the Most High? It is Jacob, Israel. You see what I'm saying? Let me prove that. Let's go to Deuteronomy. This is Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 8. It says, "When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel, the children of Jacob. For the Lord's portion is his people. The Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. He found him in a desert land, and in a waste howling wilderness. He led him about. He instructed him. He kept him as the apple of his eye. You see what I'm saying? And the whole world is languishing right now and is waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God. Let's go to Isaiah. Okay, and this is what's happening under Esau's rulership. The earth is mourning. This is Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The hearty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they, these Edomites, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Okay? So all the things, all right, because the question is, what's the end game? Because they're clearly ruining this earth. They're clearly destroying all the life, all the plants, the animals, the crops. They're poisoning the air. They're sucking up the water. You see what I'm saying? When you look in the background of these two sons, what do you see? Behind Edom, you see a waste, desolate wilderness. You see nothing. You see desolation. You see what I'm saying? You see the earth mourning. But what happens when you look behind Jacob? Behind Jacob is life aplenty. Behind Jacob, you see clean air. You see vegetation everywhere. You see that there's water present, because where there is water, there is life. You see what I'm saying? This is the dynamic that we're seeing playing out in these last days. All right? This feud between these two sons are coming to an end. And it's going to end with Esau being taken out of the way and Jacob being put in his proper place. Let's go to the book of Sirach. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 10 and verse 8. It reads, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And what does it say in the book of Daniel? It says that the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. You see what I'm saying? Because right now, we the children of Israel are in a low state. You see what I'm saying? We're in a very low place. We're subject to payments. We have to be subject under Esau's rule. Every chance these Edomites get, they're always unaliving us. You see what I'm saying? Why? Because Edom, all right, he is jealous. Okay, and he wants that birthright back. And very soon you're going to see these Edomites, all right, finally coming down on Jacob with full force. And it's going to be through that power that you cannot see that Jacob is going to be able to overthrow Esau. You see what I'm saying? When our Lord Yahushua comes back, okay, the star out of Jacob, the star out of David, all right, or the root of Jesse, I should say. Okay? So this is Daniel chapter 7 and verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. What is the kingdom? The kingdom is the rulership of this planet. Right now, Esau has dominion over the kingdom. You see what I'm saying? But we will take the kingdom and we will possess the kingdom. You see what I'm saying? And this is why they're doing all of the things that they're doing right now. All right. To anyone, to any ordinary person, it seems so far-fetched, or not far-fetched. It seems, completely asinine when you think about it. All right. Why would you destroy the planet that you got to live on? Why would you take the resources away? Why would you do all this? Okay. And leave none for anybody else? Because in his mind, if I can't have it, Jacob, you can't either. If I can't rule this place, then no one will. I'd rather destroy everything than to let you rule over it. This is Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 21. It says, as for me, this is my covenant with them, the Israelites, saith the Lord. My spirit that is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth shall not depart out of thy mouth, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seed's seed, saith the Lord, from henceforth and forever. Why is it that they're shooting rockets at the moon? Why are they doing that? You see what I'm saying? She's asking that question. All right, well, let's go to the scriptures, and it will answer that question. This is Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 35. All right, and it reads, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. If those ordinances, being the sun, the moon, or the stars, if those ordinances depart from before me, saith the Lord Yahweh, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith the Lord. You see what I'm saying? So this is why Esau is doing the things that he's doing. This is why you'll find Edom over there in the Amazon somewhere, over there in Antarctica somewhere. This is why you'll see them constantly going down into the depths of the ocean trying to measure it, because they want to stop, all right, Esau, they want to stop Jacob from being a nation. Because so long as you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians are still alive and living, that means that the prophecy is still in place. Well, if we can blow out the sun, or if we could block out the sun, or if we could blow out the moon, then maybe we can stop this from happening. You see what I'm saying? If you don't understand this truth, if you don't understand these scriptures and what they're saying, then you're not going to understand what it is that Esau is doing and why. There's a method to this nigga's madness, man. It's a method to his madness. What you're witnessing is Esau going full scorched earth. That's the mindset that he's in right now. He's in scorched earth mode. If I cannot have it, then you can't either. See? And there's a problem that Esau's having because he's trying to, he knows that this is coming. He knows it's coming. He knows he can't stop it. Okay? He knows he can't leave into outer orbit. He knows he can't leave the Van Allen belt. He knows he can't escape. You see what I'm saying? So he's trying to build all these bunkers. He's trying to hide. You see what I'm saying? Why is he? You got to ask yourself these questions. Why is he destroying all the evidence? Why is he destroying all the things that he did during slavery? Why is he destroying all this stuff in the Smithsonian Institute? Why is he doing it? Why is he going to these national parks and all these different places and he's getting rid of all of the evidence? Why is he doing it? Because he knows that Yahushua is coming and we're still going to be found in his hands. Let's go to Revelation. See what I'm saying? If you do not know this, if you do not know the fundamentals and the mysteries of these scriptures, you are not going to know what is going on and why. If you do not know the characters or the actors in this script, in this movie that's playing out before your eyes, then you will not understand what is going on. This is a fight between two sons, and it's being played out to this very day through their descendants. And Esau is trying to make sure that we, the Israelites, do not return to where we are supposed to be. You see what I'm saying? So he's destroying everything in the process. This is Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. These Edomites, all right, are moving quickly because they have a short time left. You see what I'm saying? And they are the devil. All right, as you go into the understanding of the word devil in the Greek is diabolos, which means what? All right, accuser, which goes into an accuser. You see what I'm saying? He is the accuser of thy brethren, man. Right? Verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. Very soon they're going to come with all the persecution. They're going to use AI deep fakes. They're going to make it show as if we're doing things when we're not. They're going to accuse their brother. You see? Let's go to Psalms. This is Psalms chapter 50. All right, this is Psalms chapter 50 and verse 16. It says, but unto the wicked the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Because for the longest time they placated as if they're Christian, or as if they follow the tenets of the scriptures and all these things. All the while they were doing what they were doing to the children of Israel with impunity. You see what I'm saying? But unto the wicked the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction, and casteth my words behind thee? When thou sawest a thief, Then thou consentest with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. This is the point. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. See what I'm saying? The accuser of his brother. This is Esau. You see what I'm saying? And he's moving the way he's moving because he knows that there's no way out of this. Let's go to Hebrews. All right, this is Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 16. It says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. When he lifted up his voice and he wept, there was no going back because he had already despised his birthright. So the Lord made it to where Jacob received the blessing. You see what I'm saying? And there's no place for repentance for Esau. So he knows that there's no going back. He knows that there's no way out of it. So this is why he's behaving the way that he's behaving, destroying everything in his wake. You see what I'm saying? With all the wealth, with all the power that he has, you know what I'm saying? With just a snap of a finger, he could end world hunger. With just a snap of a finger, he could end, all right, homelessness. He could fund the research for all of these, these cures and everything like that, with the snap of a finger. You see what I'm saying? But this is how he's moving, because he knows that he has a short time left. Right? So I'm going to cut that there, man. I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. All right? I'm going to let this video play one last time. And like I said, I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. This has been your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Closing, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, V'chak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who teach well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.
Okay, can somebody please explain to me what the end game is here? With these ridiculously greedy majority white men. What's the end game? To destroy the planet, live in their bunkers underground with artificial sun, artificial food, artificial intelligence. Like, that's their vision of the future. You're telling me they watched Star Wars and Superman and decided that they wanted to be Darth Vader and Lex Luthor? Like, what is the end game? They just want to scorch the earth and all of us to die and just live miserably underground? I'm so confused. Why are we shooting rockets at the fucking moon? Why are we, like, using up all of our precious resources? What's the end game?